How to set up your trading system if you're looking to scalp short term. What time frames should we use? What indicators? How to get in and out of trades, and where to try and time the market. Because scalping is looking for an advantageous trade entry. So you're looking to take a position, during a impulse in the market. It's not really about long-term trends, although that may help your bias, but really what you're looking to do is trade very short term the impulse of a direction of the market. So are sellers taking advantage here? Is the price going down, or are buyers having to pay up and the price is slowly moving up? If you can just get a decent entry, that is your scalp. So firstly, what I like to do is just come to the day chart right here on a trading system. I use Bybit to trade crypto. I'll leave a link to them in the description. Depending where you live in the world, you might be able to get a deposit and trading bonus up to $30,000 if you trade crypto. So check the link down below. I'll leave some other resources down there as well. But firstly, on a trading system, come to the day chart, come to indicators. And then here, I just want to type in simple moving average or moving average. It's this one right here, just to give me an idea of, where the price is, right? Where it's very above the moving average, you're looking at strong uptrends. Maybe below the moving average, you're looking at slightly weaker price action. And that's it in terms of indicators for me, because I don't believe they're that important when scalping, because they're late. When scalping, you're trying to get in quickly and then, get out. By the time an indicator prints, it's already too late. So we're using the moving average here. The other one that I would look at is ATR. So come to indicators again, ATR, average true range. What this does down here is gives us an idea of how volatile the market is right now. And so over a specific time frame, you can see on the day chart right now, we're looking right now at Bitcoin volatility actually coming down over time. And also the volatility in a day is around $600. You can see that it gives you a dollar amount. So in a day, we're looking for around a $600 move in a normal trading day. That gives me an idea of how much the price can move in terms of, if I'm getting into a position, how much do I think the price can move within, let's say, a few hours or the day. In terms of scalping, I don't really believe it is about getting in and out within a specific time frame. It's really trying to time the entry for the next impulse, right? So if you're looking at support levels, you're looking to time an entry somewhere where you get the impulse right. And then as soon as you're in profits, you can then just essentially run the trade for any time that you want. It's not a specific in and out within a time frame, but getting the trade entry is the right thing. Because if you get the trade entry right, then the trade opens up for you. If you're in a profit, you can move up your stop loss, you can run the trade, or you can get out of the trade at any time you want for a small profit, or run it for a potentially larger profit. When scalping, most traders will use leverage, and the reason for this is because the price movements over short time periods or low time periods are very small, and so what they want to do is increase the percentage gain or loss from their initial stack. Now, using leverage can increase risk unless it's used properly. And so definitely buyer beware, especially if you are new. Just try this out without using leverage or very, very small leverage. Why do people use leverage? You can see over these low time frames. So I'm using the 5-minute chart here, anywhere from 1 minute to 1 hour. Some people will use as scalping, but really 5-15 minutes, something like that is probably better for scalping. And what you can see is that over these short time periods or low time frames, you're getting around 50 to 60 basis points as these kind of impulses, right? So even to the short side, 60 basis points, 50 basis points, something like that. And so if you're in a scalp trade, what you're really looking for is just an entry, and you're looking to time an entry at an impulse where you're going in the direction of trade. And it's really as simple as that. We can look at trends and indicators, but they're not really going to tell you anything. They're kind of backward looking, and they're not fast enough when you're looking at scalping. So what you're looking for is an impulse, right? You're looking for an impulse. You're looking for an impulse where trade is moving in a direction, and you're looking to piggyback off that trade, the other traders who are forcing the price. You're looking at an impulse. You're looking at an impulse where you want to get in the direction of trade where it's going, and then to piggyback off that trade. And so what you're looking for is, you can see this is moving right now. And so this is actually a trade we're in right now. And so I'll show you that in a second. But what we want to be looking at, right, is that a small price movement, even though it looks big here, it has to be leveraged up. So what we can do is go to margin here on a trading system. Now, in certain countries, you can't trade with margin as well. And margin is risky, so I can't recommend it. I do recommend watching some other videos where I explain it in minute detail in terms of how to use it, how to get into position. So I'll leave those videos down in the description. But 10x leverage, what does that mean? It means that if you have an order of $5,000, you put $500 down. So if you have $1,000 in your trading account, you can open a position worth $7,000 in the market. You're only putting 700 down. That 700 is to collateralize and pay for any potential losses. So if you have a loss and the trade moves against you, you are going to be, paying for it right here with the cash that you have. But as we can see, you can leverage up 5, 7, 10 times on your trade. And that turns, if we're using 10x leverage, that turns, let's say 50 basis point move, 0.5% move, into a 3, 4, 5% move, depending how much leverage, right? 10x leverage would turn a 50 basis point move into a 5% move. And so that can help you with your trades and with your scalping trades. It can also work the other way and stop you out very quickly, which is why I believe scalping is the riskiest in terms of you can get stopped out very quickly, you can lose very quickly, and of course you can make money on these trades very quickly as well. But that's why people use leverage when they're scalping. These small price movements just have to be leveraged up in terms of your trading. Otherwise, it's just, you're wasting your time trying to make 30 or 40 basis points unless you're trading with big size. Now we'll look at an example of scalping using price action. So not just using a consolidation where you just say, right, I think the next breakout is going to be to the up or downside, but actually looking at price action on a very short time frame or a low time frame, and then trying to, trade with that move. So this can be risky. So let's have a look at this. Firstly, this is the move right here. So I was looking potentially to go short because you have the impulse up here and then you have a sell-off where price action is getting weaker. We've also seen a sell-off this morning as of making this video, a recovery here, but then that recovery is a lower high. You can see this is a potential just kind of breakdown in the price action. So, as the price action is now going lower, let's try and piggyback off this and try and take a short position down as the price comes down. Now there's many risks here, but we'll just see the trade play out. So the first thing is I'm very late to this trade. The ideal trade would have been getting in around here somewhere as the price action came off. That's one of the risks of scalping. It's just the riskiest type of trading because everything always reverses on you. You can see what I'm looking at here. You have a sell-off, the recovery, which is a lower high, lower high, and then another sell-off, right? So I'm just looking to try and take this price action down and try and scalp that trade. So very risky. You can see what I'm drawing here is that this level at like 27,775, I think is a support level. And so that support is maybe going to bring buyers in right here. So that's where I'll put my take profit and just hope the price kind of comes down a little bit towards that. It's kind of risky, but you can see as we've got this price action, I'm actually in profit in the trade already. Basically nothing, basically flat. But you can see once that price action has gone into here, I can move my stop loss down and basically have a risk-free trade at that point, or at least not making a loss. The reality is you're not going to be making or losing virtually anything here anyway. But it's nice to have a stop loss which is at your entry. Now what you can see, I'm moving to the 30-minute chart and I'm looking at that price action moving down, but also we're coming into a support level right here. And that worries me a little bit because support levels, you could get a bounce and it's going to bounce you out of your trade. So I'm looking at that price action. I didn't move the stop loss here. It's something you can do. If you did move the stop loss down to your entry, then you would have got stopped out. So you would have, been out of the trade at break even, which, isn't the end of the world. But that's the difference between giving yourself a little bit of breathing room. You can see I put the stop loss at the swing high of the last candlestick, and then here gave myself some room. So I would have stayed in the trade if I would have kept my stop loss. If you move your stop loss down, then you're not going to lose out on the trade, but you're going to be paying commissions and you're going to be out of the trade. So moving your stop loss down, why would you enter a short position at that price and then 30 seconds after enter a buy position at that price? Either you're in the trade or you're not. So that's up to the individual trader. But taking a small loss or the ability to take a small loss here gives yourself the trade a little bit more breathing room. And you can see how volatile the candlesticks are short term. So there's going to be a lot of times where you're just getting stopped out. That is scalping. Now you can see it kind of move down a little bit. I'm just watching the trade. It's not really moving that much. And so for me, I just kind of let the trades run and see if they're going to run. What we can see now is that the price action is getting weak, but you have seen some support around this level, or at least there is some consolidation here. So what I'm worried about in this trade is that it's going to come down to these levels. You can see it's wicking down here, which, you know, isn't really where my take profit is, because I'm putting my take profit down at this support level here again. And so, yeah, it's just, you're looking at the trade thinking this could very easily reverse to the upside and I'm going to make a loss, but we keep in the trade for now anyway and see what happens. So what I'm looking at again is, I just think that this price action seems to be accelerating to the downside. So we're on the 5 minute. You do expect some trade levels to bounce around a little bit, but I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, we're still moving down. Like, this trade is accelerating down, and you can see the 3 candlesticks here as well showing weak price action. You can see that just looks weak price action, so I'm happy to stay in the trade. If I was really worried, you could just get out of the trade now and actually take a profit, although again, the profit's, you know, not very big. So what I'm drawing here is the support level. What I'm really worried about is that this support level is actually coming into play and is going to make it, you know, impossible to actually take this profit here with my take profit level. But I'm staying in the trade just to see what happens. Again, I'm just looking at, you know, you can see that this price action is weak. Despite showing some strength here, overall the highs are getting lower and it looks to be accelerating to the downside. And then what we got was that. So essentially a huge breakout to the downside. So we got it, as you can see. The price action eventually, after this consolidation broke out, a huge seller came in. So what I believe happened here is that the seller was working their order probably from these levels, selling down, trying to work the order a little bit, trying to get a lot out. And what happened is buyers came in at this level and took a lot of the seller's orders, but then the seller basically wanted to finish the order and just dumped the sell, and that's what it was. And so he just got out, got everything out. That was the big wick down. And then what usually happens after a big wick down is that, you know, obviously that seller is done, and then the buy algorithms come in and actually push it a little bit higher. So what I believe happening here is that there's or multiple sellers right here trying to take short positions or just sell. Eventually, that price action, you know, just kind of ran out here. The seller came in and maybe the order was ended. So, you know, a short position there just based on this price action. I was pretty late into this entry. I would have liked an entry up here. But with scalping, there's just no way you're going to get a perfect entry ever. But what you're looking for is trying to find price action, you know, moving in one direction and kind of getting with that price action and hoping that the trade just moves it down a little bit. So that's price action scalping, which is different from just looking for a consolidation in price and then looking to try and, you know, get the next move either up or down as you see it. If you need some more tutorials on how to actually enter trades, use leverage, enter stop loss and take profits on Bybit and other crypto trading systems, I'll leave those videos down below. Deposit and trading bonuses on the exchanges I use, I'll link down there as well. The crypto investor course, you can come and talk to me and other traders in those groups as well if you are looking to trade short-term. Links and info down in the description. Like I said, I'm James, it's Money's EG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.